All right, guys, if you're new to business, this is one of the biggest principles that you need to learn. There is actually a book titled Nail It, Then Scale It. We call it the Red Bible in business. And if you guys have not read it, it's a really good read. But I'm going to give you the principle behind it so that you guys can keep moving fast so we can get to knowing what you want to do and so you can actually create a really successful business. Because my goal here is to give you the real side of entrepreneurship, where I want you guys to understand how the billionaires do it. I personally have met with guys that have sold their companies for multiple billions that have taught this principle to huge crowds because this is how they did it. They went through and they actually nailed their product and then they scaled it. So in a business, you're going to have a couple different phases. And we actually do this within the group, right? We have, if you're like a 1, a 2, or a 3, this is when you're trying to create your product. This is when you're trying to really establish your product or your business so that everything runs smoothly, and then you're getting into scaling. So if you're in this phase right now, you are nailing it, which means you need to actually take your product and instead of just dreaming up, man, I bet everybody is going to want my new 3D printed hot dog holder. Everybody's going to love it. And not actually asking a single person about it, you're going to print 30,000 of these things and they're going to sit in your basement for years while you're trying to sell them. So what you need to do is we need to nail the product. Meaning, when you actually identify a pain, the first thing that I want you guys to recognize is that when you identify a pain, is it a mosquito bite or is it a shark bite? If somebody gets a mosquito bite, it's like, yeah, that's annoying, but I don't really care to do anything about it. No one cares to have a hot dog holder that's been 3D printed. It's not going to do it for them. Unless one of you gets rich off of it, then I'll apologize. But if there's a shark bite and I get my arm taken off, I'm going, I don't care what it costs. I'm going to fix this right now. So make sure when you guys are identifying your pain that you're going to solve for, is it a mosquito bite or is it a shark bite? How severe is this pain? Go and talk to your customers. Don't just guess how severe it is. Go and talk to them. You have to go and actually verbalize with your target market and say, what's your current solution for this? And what, if I could come up with a better solution, what would that look like in your mind? The reason that's an important question is because you don't want to just imagine up a solution that you think is perfect, but none of them really like. You've seen it a couple times probably where people have an amazing solution, but because the market doesn't really like it, it doesn't take, even though it was a perfect solution for that pain. You have to give them a solution that they actually like. And the best way to do that is to continually be talking with them, testing, and proving it with them. So, number 2 is discovery. Once you identify the pain, you have to get into discovery mode. You have to start asking so many questions. Then you get into development and testing. If you actually take the time in your business, and this is why I talk about it's so important that you guys keep your job, don't burn the boats yet, or get some passive income coming in so that you can survive and take the time to actually do it right. Because if you guys will take the time to actually identify the pain, and again, you got to think about what market you're in. Does this market actually have money to pay you? You know, is there enough demand? Is it a growing market? Or is this pain like a teeny tiny market where you're never really going to make the money you want to make? So discover and identify the pain. Go and do a bunch of discovery. Go and find out everything about it. How do they get around it? Is it actually a big pain? What would they be willing to pay for a solution for it? All these questions are going to help you to then get into your development and testing phase where you guys get to develop some sort of solution and then test it with your actual market. Go and take them what we call your MVP, your minimum viable product, so that they can actually get a taste of what you're headed towards. And then when you do that, then you're actually going to get all the feedback so that you can continue to test and test and test. And then you're going to actually fabricate whatever your real product is. So then you launch your real product. And now that it has been nailed, now you'll begin to see so much demand as soon as you get the word out, because everybody is feeling that pain that you discovered and that you have now correctly solved for your market, and you're going to be able to jump through this hoop from this hoop to this hoop, and this hoop will go very quickly because they will not care hardly as much about your marketing or your branding or anything if you nailed your product. They used to say this thing where they said if the only reason that they have sales is because marketing didn't do their job, and they only have marketing because product didn't do their job. If you nail the product, word of mouth is going to spread, your business is going to grow, and this part where you establish your company, they're not going to care if you have a cool logo. They're going to care that you have a kick-ass product. And then it's going to jump straight into the scaling phase. And that's where your money goes berserk. And make sure you watch the lessons on those before you do it. But make sure that you guys nail it and then scale it.